it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We are starting my mid-year 2021 collection and declutter series. So every week, roughly once a week, I think, I'm gonna go through a different part of my collection, tell you what I like, what I don't like, and I've always been someone who does this about twice a year. I haven't always filmed it. Like, I'll go through and do a video that shows you what I've gotten rid of, but not like the whole collection portion. And I thought that this would be good for y'all to see what I like and what I don't. And I typically try to do this at the end of summer before holiday releases come out, so that way I have room in my collection for holiday releases. And then I do this after holiday season again to make room for the stuff that's going to come in between, because, you know, it seems like I'm always trying to prepare for holiday season. So when we always get inundated with products. But some parts of my collection, like eyeshadow palettes, are absolutely massive. Other parts of my collection, like primers, really isn't. But I figured this is a good way to show you the products that I like, what I don't, all that kind of stuff. So we're starting off with face primers, setting sprays, and concealers. There are certain things that aren't open in my collection yet that are not even being considered to be gotten rid of. So like, I have my backup of my MAC Fix Plus, that's not going anywhere. The e.l.f. concealer I just got, the NYX, or no, the e.l.f. Dew Primer, and then this is not what I meant to grab. I have the Kiko Milano setting spray. That's the lip oil. Grabbed the wrong box, but they're in the same box, just one smaller than the other. So we'll start off with face primers. So typically what I personally like in a face primer is something that feels a little bit more like skincare, that is like almost like a lotion on the skin. That's what I prefer, because I mean, this is my skin. Yes, I have makeup on, but I don't have a lot of texture. I don't have acne. I don't have a lot of wrinkles other than under my eyes. My skin is normal. I don't really have dry skin. I don't have oily skin. So I prefer something that's a little bit more hydrating, because when my under eyes get dry, they look bad. That's where you can see my age, because I am 38 years old. But again, I've gotten Botox in my forehead, my number 11 lines, and my forehead. And other than that, I did get a Botox lip flip a couple of months ago, but I don't get a lot of things done, but I am honest about it. So we're gonna start off with primers and then kind of go from there. The first one up, this is the Danessa Myricks Prism FX Hydrating Lotion. This is in gold. For some reason, my pump is messed up, so it doesn't like to work and actually get product out. I am actually almost finished with this, so that's not going anywhere. This does have a pretty gold glow to the skin, and it is a good color gold. So this is what I have on under my foundation today, mainly because I'm almost finished with it, so I want to finish with it. But you see how it's got that gold undertone to it, but you can see if you look at how it rubs in, it has more of like a thick lotiony feel, which feels like skincare. I love how it works on the skin, so you can see the difference. It does do a little bit of smoothing. I enjoy that one a whole lot. Next up, this is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I just got this. This is the small size. One thing I did notice about this smells like Lemon Pledge. I do like how it feels on the skin. It is a thicker, again, lotiony feel. It feels like skincare, but it just goes into the skin really nice, and it makes your skin feel nice and soft and smooth. For me, I think that's a big portion of primer, is I like it to feel like skincare on my skin. It helps, I personally think, where it doesn't let makeup settle in, and then it helps your skin look hydrated, which makes it look healthier. Then this is the Tarte Silk Canvas. This is the liquid version. This is my favorite out of the two silk canvases. I did have the putty version before, but I do much prefer a pump. I don't like having to put my hands in my primer. Don't ask me why. Even if I use my fingers on other products, there's just something about primer. This one smells like expensive skincare, and it feels, again, it feels nice on the skin. Like, I love to rub primers in. Like putting good lotion. Next up, but this is a good primer that's not going anywhere. And I don't have a lot of primers, so there probably won't be any leaving from my primer collection. Next up, this is the Beauty Blender, the Leveler. So this is like supposed to be a pore filling one. I've never tried it, but it was on clearance at the Sephora at my JCPenney, so it was like $8, 75% off. I was like, we'll try it. I haven't opened it. I haven't tried it yet. Typically, I'm not a fan of like those silicone primers. I don't like how they sit on my skin, so I don't know if I will love it, but we will see until I try. Next up, this is the Gucci Serum de Beauté Fluid. So this is the Silk Primer. This is another expensive primer. And Gucci, like their primer and their foundation smell like roses. It reminds me of like my grandma's house. It smells like pretty much just dried roses. It smells good, but if you're sensitive to scents, that would not be, that and the face base would not be ones that I recommend. Again, it just feels like good skincare. I like the way it looks on my skin, so it's staying. Next up, this is the Nyx the Marshmallow Primer. I bought this one on a whim. It smells like candy. It has a nice thick lotiony texture. And again, this one doesn't have any silicone as far as I know in it. And I'm not sure what this is supposed to be like a dupe for or if it is, but again, it's got that good lotiony feel and it smells like candy. It smells so good. But I do enjoy that one a whole lot. Then we have, this is the Auric Glow Lust. So this is more of like, you can use this as a highlighter. You can put this all over your face by itself. So this isn't my favorite. I have the shade Pyrite. And on my skin, this is a little cool toned for me, so it can pull a little ashy. So you can kind of see what I mean on my hand, how it kind of gives it a little bit of a white cast. It feels nice, but it's not my favorite on the skin. I will finish it off because it was expensive, but I like to use it as a primer. I didn't like it any other way, but I wouldn't repurchase this. So far, it's not something that I'm like, oh, I need more of it. And I am about halfway finished with it or so. You can see kind of where it's emptying right there. And there's like a thick layer of glass. So we're getting there with it. And then next up we have, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Again, this is an expensive product. I have the shade 3, which is light medium. And again, this is kind of like the Auric Glow Lust. So as you can see, it's definitely a thicker consistency. It kind of gives a little bit more white cast too. It feels good. It feels like skincare. But these 3 primers with the glow in it, the glow really doesn't show on my skin very often unless I'm wearing a lighter coverage foundation, which almost never happens because I have some the one thing about my skin that I don't like is I have hyperpigmentation on my upper lip, and I typically have to have more coverage to hide that. But yeah, it's nothing special. It's not anything to write home about. I know people love it. For me, it's neither here nor there. A lot of times, for me, the hydration is key because it helps my under eyes stay and looking good all day. I don't use primer because it makes my makeup last any longer, because my makeup lasts anyway. Does that make sense? This is the Rare Beauty. This is the Illuminating Primer. I think that they have another one now. It's not that I need illuminating primers. I think that's part of the thing. Like, I just would rather something that's a little moisturizing. This one feels good. Again, it's that lotiony feel. I do like this one. But I don't feel like, you know, it's super extravagant. My favorite Holy Grail primer used to be the Hourglass Mineral Veil, and because of all the stuff with Hourglass, I don't use that one anymore. So I guess my ultimate favorite at this point, until I find something different, is the Tatcha Silk Canvas. But, you know, again, a lot of these primers work. Then we have, this is the Soft Silk Pro Filter Hydrating Primer from Fenty. I do prefer a hydrating primer over a matte finish because, again, it makes my skin feel good. I prefer this one over the matte version, but I do keep the matte version, and that's this one, because sometimes you don't want to be glowy. Sometimes you just want something that's going to like mattify, because your natural oils, even if you're not an oily person, even if you're dry, at some points throughout the day, your natural oils will start to seep through, and that's why your skin starts to look better. So sometimes like something like that is great to have because of, you know, if you're gonna be wearing your makeup all day. Next up, so now we're on to setting sprays. I'm not getting rid of any of my primers. There's none that I want to get rid of. So that means my collection is at 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, because I have one that hasn't been opened yet. So I have about 12 primers. Not bad considering I'm a beauty YouTuber, but primers aren't, you know, like, if I'm looking to buy makeup, primers aren't that product that I'm like, ooh, let's go see what's new in a primer. You know, it's kind of like, oh, this works, I'm gonna use it till it's done. Setting sprays, kind of the same thing. So first off, we have the MAC Fix Plus Magic Radiance. So this is a glowy spray. I do like MAC Fix Plus. I have another bottle. I went through, I don't even know how many over the years. Another setting spray I do love is the Cover FX. The mist on these is amazing. These are good. Then we have, I can't tell you anything about this one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless. The pump's messed up on this, so I can't like even test it. I'm gonna have to put this in another bottle, but I will once this is done, because this is almost empty. Then this is the Beauty Bakery. This is one of those aerosol ones. It smells like candy or cake, because they're bakery. The Sublime Perfecting Concealer, and I have 2 shades, Light Medium 14, which is a little warm, and then I have Light 5, which is way too light. So I like to mix these two together, but this has beautiful coverage. It blends out wonderfully, so you can kind of see, like, you can mix those two together. It blends out wonderfully, and it is full coverage. It will cover all your sins. So that is my favorite concealer, I think, at this point. Next up, then I have, this is the Beauty Blender Concealer. This is a replacement buy. This is in the shade 240 in, which is medium olive, neutral olive. So that one's not open. I'm not opening it today. Then I have, but I am keeping it. Then this is the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 210. Again, it's a good concealer. It's a little light, but I like a brightening concealer. So I don't mind it being light, and I don't use a whole lot of it. Like you can see, I have this on my skin, and you think that that's gonna be really white, but the way that I blend it out, it doesn't look like that, I guess is the best way to put it. Next up, this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. I do like this concealer a whole lot. I like the undertone to it. I do like this line. I'm not a big fan of their tinted moisturizer in it, but the rest of the line is pretty good. So we're holding on to that. Then this is the Collab concealer. I like this concealer, but as of right now, that is the Collab concealer right there. I can't wear that. It's way too pale, and I really don't feel like mixing it. And I have enough concealers that I can use that's what we're going to do, that I like better. I mean, I do think that is a great concealer. It's just, I don't know. Then we have, this is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape, and I have the shade 29N. I haven't used this enough to really form an opinion, but this is supposed to be more of like the creamier one. So we'll see how it goes as I use it. But yeah, that's that. And then last but certainly not least, this is the Bye Bye Under Eyes by It Cosmetics. I have the shade 13, which is white as a ghost. And right now, as you can see, that is way too pale. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of that one too. It's not a bad concealer. It's just, it's too pale at this point. So we didn't do bad. I did get rid of 7 concealers. And it does help clear out my collection some, so I can act, because I do enjoy actually using a product. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then I have one that hasn't been opened, so I have 15 concealers. So that's not bad. I think we did good getting rid of stuff today, but I guess that's it for this video. We will come back with another one. Just let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite concealer, setting spray, primers are down below. But I guess that's it. Remember, we post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and on Saturdays at 2 p.m. we have a live. But I guess that's it. We'll see y'all later. Bye.